Good evening, baseball fans. It is Sunday, June 23rd. This is Bourbon and Baseball. I'm Suzy. That's Tom. This is the Astros edition of Bourbon and Baseball. So if there's a little bit more pep in my step, it's because I'm very happy. So I'm going to give you the rated R warning off the top so that I can cuss. So again, this is a rated R podcast for all of the cuss words and four-letter words and probably some inappropriate adult humor because that's just who I am as a person, but definitely most likely for all of the cuss words. So if that's not your jam, totally okay. Put the earmuffs on the little ones, but you can probably skedaddle on out of here. There is an Astros podcast where you don't get rated R Suzy. You get PG-13 Suzy. That is called Astros in Orbit on the Top Fan Rivalry Network. You can go find that show. My co-host over there, his name is Bill. He's a Dodger fan. We will forgive him for that, but he's actually a very cool guy. But that is PG-13 Suzy. Rated R Suzy over here. And Tom obviously is cooler than Bill. Shh, don't tell Bill. But rated R Suzy, Uncut Suzy, it's a little bit more fun over here on
Cooler than
the Bourbon and
PG-13, Suzy.
Baseball.
Don't tell Suzy.
I don't know if I'd go that far. Tom.
Ooh, okay,
PG-13
okay.
Suzy is pretty cool too. Just saying. I'm a badass bitch. So, however, if that's not your jam, that's not your jam. That's okay. So go find PG-13 Suzy over there on the Astros in Orbit show. Radar Suzy over here on the Bourbon and Baseball Astros edition. So with that said, Tom, with that fucking said, we swept the motherfucking Orioles. Tom, we swept them. We
This is
swept the Orioles.
this is Bourbon and Baseball. This is a school night, but in honor of our Houston Astros thumping the Baltimore Orioles, I got a glass. I got some water too because it's a school night. Got to be up early to go to work. I don't know why, but it's what I got to do. But I'm drinking to the sweep because no one saw this coming. I didn't even see this coming. I thought they could be very good. I thought they could win the series. I would have never told you in a million years. Oh yeah, they can sweep them. And we're not going to talk about what Susie said on the last podcast because she clearly didn't see this coming.
Oh no.
So
Absolutely not. Are you? No. In no world did I see the Astros sweeping the Baltimore Orioles. Not in a million goddamn years. Not only did we sweep the Baltimore Orioles. We'll get to the first game. But the last two games, we held the Baltimore Orioles that lead the league in RBIs and in home runs to a single run. One single home run hit by Jordan Westberg. Jordan Westberg is our kryptonite apparently and hit one single home run on Saturday and on Sunday. We're not going to talk about Friday night. We're going to talk about Friday night. But Friday night, everybody hit fucking home runs. A home run for you and a home run for you. And Gunnar Henderson, you get two fucking home runs. Okay, we'll talk about it. But Saturday and Sunday, Jordan Westberg, a single home run. In no world did I ever see the Astros holding down the Baltimore Orioles to a single run in two games. I could see it in maybe a game, maybe one game, but in back-to-back games, in no world. I legitimately thought that this series was going to be like a Friday night game where it's like back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I'm gonna have a heart attack in all of the games. That's what I thought it was gonna be.
Susie with the damn it doll in one hand and a paper bag to keep from hyperventilating in the other for an entire. I imagine that's what happened Friday night. I imagine she was over there. The doll got some work. The bag got all the work. Probably destroyed the bag and probably should have been drinking.
Okay, so let's get into it. Friday night, you guys know we have 4,003 injured pitchers, and we're just gonna call up JakeBloss, who, if you're not familiar with anyone from our minor leagues, JakeBloss, why would you even be familiar with him? Because he's not even in AAA. No, of course not. He's in AA. He just bypassed AAA completely. If you listened to Bourbon and Baseball, you would have heard us talk about him. But if you haven't and you're new, here you go.
Welcome.
So Jake Bloss comes in, and we're not going to give you a very soft landing spot, Jake Bloss. No, we're going to hand you to the vaunted Baltimore Oriole lineup. So welcome to the show, motherfucker. See what you can do. I did not have my eyeballs on the actual game until probably the fourth or fifth inning. I went back and watched the innings that I had missed because I was only listening to it, And in the first inning, when he went up to try and make that catch, I think that's when he tweaked it. Because right after he tried to make that catch, you see him grab the shoulder and do one of these working out kind of deals, and you can see him grimace. But I don't know if that's his normal face, if that's just his pitching style, if he's nervous, I don't know. But then after watching it and rewinding a couple of times, pretty sure that's when he tweaked it. Jake Bloss, though, hats off to you, kid, because you kept it down. I think he only gave up 2 runs. Gave up 2 runs in the third and had much better stuff than I had anticipated. Loved it. Shout out to you, Jake Bloss, for the stirrup as well. I don't know how or why. I need Julia Morales on this because I need an answer on what the story is with the stirrups. Is this a normal look in AA too? I need to go look.
So I listened to the broadcast on the radio because I was driving to San Antonio for the weekend, and they said that he's just got an old school feel to him. The way he wears his cap, his stance on the mound with 2 feet, it's very
Mhm.
old school, and the stirrups just complete the look. So I don't know if that was just he had an idol and this is an idol thing or what. I love it though. You go ahead. I need that Space City. I need Tequila Sunrise stirrups. I need that when Jake Bloss gets back.
Oh, absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. So, in the 4th inning, he got the first 2 outs, and he was reaching that pitch limit number of pitches thrown. I wanna say that the number that they had given was 85. I don't think he had pitched farther than 85 pitches in Double A, and he was getting that. He was getting there a little bit quicker. Got the first 2 outs in the 4th and threw a fastball, and I wanna say his velo on the fastball was 91, 90,
Mhm.
and Joe Espada was out of the dugout immediately. And you could see him try and talk his way out of it, and Joe Espada was like, "Give me the ball. Give me the ball. It's okay." Thankfully, it sounds like there is no structural damage, and it just that it got tweaked. So he's gonna rest for a little bit, and then he'll go back and start throwing, I think they said in about 5 days. So rest, 5 days, hopefully he will be back, and we will see what he can do. Hopefully, he will not try and catch errant comebackers at him, fingers crossed, and we can see what the kid can do because he's 22 and looked electric on the mound. Loved it. Apparently, he's very smart too. He has 2 different bachelor's degrees and then a master's in finance. I'm sorry,
He must be Asian.
you would think, but no, he's literally a guy in finance and a major leaguer. He is what
Six
the song
five.
is about.
Is that how the TikTok
Is he
goes?
6'5"? I don't know if he is 6'5". Now I gotta look it up if Jake Bloss is 6'5". Good on you though, Tom, for knowing what TikTok sound I'm talking about though.
Look, I don't TikTok, but you see him. That one was pretty good.
I just saw another TikTok though of a mom recording her daughter, and she's, "Mom, listen," and she thought that they were saying "fine ass," as in
Oh,
a nice ass, and
them
the
English
mom was all,
accents.
"No, baby, it's a guy in finance, like a money guy," and she's
Mhm.
all the her let's just say her flappers were gasted. She was like, "Wait, why would that be a thing? Why would we want that?" Not realizing, but Jake Bloss height, apparently it does not wanna give me his height. I need to know if he's 6'5". He's not. He's just 6'3".
Close enough. I'm sure
6'3".
if he's got how does the rest of that go? I'm sure if he's got the rest of that going on, he'll be fine.
I don't actually know any longer because I saw his
Blocked it out.
headshot again. No, I saw his headshot again, and it was bugging me. I was like, "He looks like a celebrity," and I can't put my finger on who the celebrity is, but I figured it out. It's Dermot Mulroney. Mulroney?
Mm. No, I think you're right
And
the first.
he looks like a young Dermot Mulroney. Mulroney? I'm gonna have to Google, and we'll have to put up a thing,
However
but
he looks, I think that this is an entrance to the big leagues that I think he can build on. You talked about the Baltimore Oriole lineup. I don't believe you're going to face anything more challenging than that Oriole lineup. You talked about it in the last podcast. OPS for damn near the entire lineup being over 800, OPS plus all over 120. So these are above average. This is a really talented team. They took the New York Yankees in their building out behind the woodshed and beat their ass like handily. So for the Astros, and I don't want to say that they slept on the Astros. Coming in, we talked about maybe there would be a letdown. Oh no, that first game, they came to play. And you thought you were
absolutely.
safe. You thought you had the Baltimore Orioles. No, you fucking didn't. Because
Nope.
they turned it on at the end of that game. We'll get into it. They turned it on, and I was like, oh shit. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is not good.
So,
What are we gonna do?
you only thought that a 14-3 game was safe. Abso-fucking-lutely not. At that point, I looked over at Mike, and Mike goes, "Oh, we may actually win this game," and I go, "Abso-fucking-lutely not. Nope, no lead is safe. No lead is safe." And he goes, "It's 14-3." I go, "No lead is safe. Unless the game is done, I'm not counting anything out." And I saw y'all motherfuckers. I saw y'all motherfuckers put up your goddamn memes. It's because you don't watch the Orioles. It's because you don't know. I
You
saw
gotta
one
get
of the
all
memes
27 with them.
that had the Legally Blonde that had Reese Witherspoon with the Astros hat and was like, "What? It's hard?" "Yes, bitch. It is very fucking hard." That's what
They
she
got
said.
quiet.
It's ridiculous, okay? You would think 14-3 in the 6th, right? That's
Yeah, yeah. That's
done.
where yep.
Dunzo. We got this. Orioles said, "Oh, let's just hit back-to-back home runs." What, like, it's hard? Fuck you. Fuck you, Orioles, because I was legitimately jumping up and down in that 6th inning. When I say that I don't do cardio, people, I don't. I was doing cardio in my living room during that 6th inning. I'll do that cardio. I will do all of the fucking cardio for that. I was jumping up and down. I was, like, punching air. I was so excited. Mike was saying that he probably should have recorded me and then,
Oh,
blackmailed me
that
and
goal.
put the video online. It would have been awesome. He would have been dead, but it would have been awesome. The content would have been chef's kiss.
He would have been a
But
goat.
it was phenomenal watching this lineup hit and string together runs because unlike the Orioles, there were no home runs in that run. It was just like double after single after double. Let's just keep the line fucking moving. Like we've talked about time and time again. We've begged, we've asked Astros, can you not swing away? Can we just pass the fucking baton? And they did. They fucking did it. We fucking loved it. Fucking loved it.
This team has so many good hitters on it, and good hitters that I feel like have just, and we've talked about it show after show, just trying to do too much in the at bats instead of taking the pitch where it's pitched and going with it. I need to pull this into the Crawford boxes. I need to turn a single into a double into a triple because the hole was so deep. And I think this one inning was like just a small sample of what they can be if it's look, I trust the guy behind me. I trust the guy behind him. And you saw it throughout this entire series. And if there was anything that I could bottle from the series, obviously the pitching was phenomenal. You want your ace, Ronel Blanco, and an ace that was and can be Framber to keep doing what they did in the series because my God, both of those guys were phenomenal. But the thing that was more valuable to me was their ability to go, look, the next guy's got it. The next guy's got it after that. And we're going to keep stringing, keep the line moving, trust. And when you saw it, that 7th inning or 6th inning, I'm sorry, I thought it was never going to end. Like it was just single, double, single, double, single. It was just on and on. And this lineup can be that way where there are no holes in it. When Chaz is doing Chaz things, Joey Loperfido, the godsend that he's become, when he's in the lineup, it makes you that left. So it's really balanced. So you can't go to the pen and go, okay, I'm just going to get a lefty to face all these right-handed guys or vice versa. I'm sorry, a lefty to face all these left-handed guys. And I was really impressed, really excited. And for all the people that have been trying to put a tombstone on this season, I don't know what you're going to do now. I don't know what you're going to do now because now you got to walk that shit back and you'll be like, oh my God, my team's good again. I don't know where they were, but I'm here now. And it's like, mm,
Listen, I'm
mm.
only judge you a little bit. I'm not gonna tell you how to fan. I'm not. We're the Astros. Apparently, this is what we do. Okay, but in that 6th, Mauricio Dubon walked, Joe Loperfido doubled, and now it's 6-3, and we knocked Grayson Rodriguez out of the game, and that was pretty important because Grayson Rodriguez had been pretty good all season, and after Jacob Webb comes in, Trey Cabbage walks, Jose Altuve doubles. Now it's 7-3. AlexBregman doubles, 8-3. Yordan Alvarez walks. They replace their pitcher. Dylan Tate comes in. Yiner gets a fielder's choice. Yiner Diaz. Hats off to you, sir, because you've been doing the things. How many times have we asked you to not try and hit a 43 run home run? Just take the ball. Just do the things with the ball that we know that you're strong enough to do. You can drive in a couple of runs without probably even really trying hard. Okay, fielder's choice. Guess what? So you get an RBI. 9-3. Jake Myers strikes out. That's the first out of the 6th inning, guys. John Singleton singles. I think he went 2-for-4 that night. Shout out,
Two
John
for
Singleton.
five.
2-for-5. Even fucking better. I say that math is not mathing. 2-for-4 is better than 2-for-5, whatever. But now that score is 11-3. Mauricio Dubon doubles again, 12-3. Joey doubles again, 14-3. And mercifully, Trey Cabbage pops out. Jose Altuve grounds out. And now you're out of the inning. That game lasted like 3 hours and 43 minutes or something stupid. It lasted so long. Okay. And then our quote unquote mop up guys came in because, of course, our mop up guys came in because it's 14-3. We didn't have to use any of our leverage guys, right? We didn't have to use any of our leverage guys because it's 14-3. No, our bullpen said, JK, we don't want to make anything easy on you. We want to give everybody a heart attack and we want to give Suzy all of the white hair. So Nick Hernandez comes in, and I'm not gonna begrudge you Nick Hernandez because it's Gunnar Henderson, and that's fine. He hits a home run. Cool. Okay. You got your one. Now it's 14-4, and it's 10 runs now, but it's the Orioles. Just be wary. And of course, they said, oh, all right. Now we go. Cool. 8th inning comes in. 8th inning. And you're all, oh, all right. So Jordan Westberg strikes out. And I think Cedric Mullins really likes playing here because Cedric Mullins was on a tear. And Cedric Mullins singles. And Jorge Mateo hits a home run. That's his 5th of the year, guys. Well, was that going to be a home run in anywhere else? I forgot to check. But now it's 6-14. So That's okay. That's all right. We're still ahead. Just it's a little bit closer, but we're okay. We're okay. James McCann walks. Gunnar Henderson hits his second fucking home run of this fucking game. That one was only a Crawford box special. Definitely not going to get out of the Camden Yards. Now it's 14-8. And I was all, oh, all right, sorry, Nick Hernandez. Rafael Montero comes in. And immediately I said, why? Why is Rafael Montero in? Stop it. And of course, Adley Rutschman doubles immediately. And now there's 2 outs. Excuse me. Adley doubles. Ryan O'Hearn flies out. Now there's 2 outs. And then Ryan Mountcastle doubles again. And now it's 14-9. And I now am sweating because it's 14-9 and I'm all, it's going to get close real quick. And Mike's, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Just wait. It's Rafael Montero. Just wait. And he goes, really? And as I said that, Anthony Santander, and I'm so sorry, Anthony, that I forgot to mention you in my whole Orioles have a type, not a white boy. I didn't name you. I apologize, Tony Taters. That's on me. That's on me. I don't know how I could forget you, but I did, and I'm so sorry. But of course, you hit your 20th home run of the season, and now it is 11-14. And then I melted off the couch. I'm all, see? And I looked at Mike. I go, this is why we don't trust the Orioles lineup, and this is why we don't trust Rafael Montero. Thank Jesus for Taylor Scott though, because Taylor Scott doing the things, all of the things, and Bryan Abreu's arm is going to fall off. I don't know when Bryan Abreu's arm is going to fall off, but at some point in time this season, Bryan Abreu's arm is going to fall off because he pitched a third night in a row after being used back-to-back nights, and it wasn't a super quick inning. 6, 10.
Talking about Abreu?
11, 12, 13, 16 pitches, 4
13
players.
strikes.
I understand. Joe Espada, I get it. I do. I understand. His arm's going to fall off. His arm is going to fall off.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Why? Tom, tell me why. Tell me why. No, I'm just kidding.
Let me pull him up first because I need to see where he's at. So how many innings do you think he's pitched? Realizing that a reliever pitches somewhere around 100 innings. How many innings do you think Bryan Abreu's pitched?
38.
That's a very accurate number. You're very correct. 38 and a third innings. So we're over.
Does he lead the league in appearances?
He does, but we're over halfway probably, right?
I think we're at the halfway mark, aren't we?
38 and 40. So that's 78 games. So
Not a math pod. Don't know.
We're not there yet. 81. We're 3 games. We're 3 games left for the halfway point of the season. But what do you think Bryan Abreu pitched last year and the year before that?
How many innings?
Yes.
156.
Total?
Last season.
No, 60 innings pitched. But he appeared in 55 games. The year before that, he appeared in 72 games. And he pitched 72 innings the year before that. I think Bryan Abreu will be fine. I'm sorry, I got that backwards. Last year, 72 innings. The year before that, 60 innings. So it's a progression, right? Slowly he'll get to 100. But I think he'll be fine. I worry about Ryan Presley because he's 36. Bryan Abreu is 27.
Ryan Presley's 36? I thought he was 34.
Oh, did I get it wrong?
I don't know.
Let me see. Maybe I'm wrong. He is 35 and 191 days. Yeah, 35 and a half. He's almost 36. Okay. So what do you think? Okay. So last year, Ryan Presley showed up in 65 games and pitched 65 innings. I'm worried about him. I'm not worried about the rest of them. They're all younger guys.
I don't know. I have reservations about Ryan Presley anyways, though, because it's Ryan Presley.
Okay. But innings, in relation to innings and appearances and things of that nature, I don't worry so much about Bryan Abreu, Josh Hader, any of the other guys. I don't.
That's fair. I screenshotted a really cool something. What did I screenshot?
So while you hunt that, ShawnDubin got the win in this game. Dubin pitched 2 1/3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 1 earned run. And we're going to need him. They need to trust him. They need to be willing to give the ball to ShawnDubin because I feel like
didn't get the win. Didn't get the save in that game. The first game.
He got the win. He didn't get the save. He got the win.
Oh, he got the win. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes. So for me, he needs to be your middle long guy out of the pen. Starter goes 5 1/3. Give me Dubin. Starter goes, or Taylor Scott as well. But those 2 guys, I feel like Joe Espada really has to lean on them a little bit to get to Abreu, Presley, and Hader, because I don't want to see Rafael Montero unless it's mop up, low leverage, 7, 8, 9, those things. I know he's pitched better, but not for me. Something about him between the ears, and anytime he gets ratcheted up, he gives up runs.
Is Seth Martinez okay? He hasn't pitched since the 15th. Am I reading that correctly? I think he hasn't pitched since the 15th.
Maybe he's not okay.
He hasn't pitched since the 15th. Like, where's Seth Martinez been? Why didn't Seth Martinez come in instead of Rafael Montero? I would have definitely trusted him over Rafael Montero.
But I feel like he's a leverage guy. So I think, and I could be wrong, but I think the spot is trying to manage their innings because he's at 37 and a third, and he hasn't went to these depths. Last year, he pitched 43 innings. That's it,
Oh,
all last year.
okay.
So he's at
Wow. Okay. So
37
maybe,
and a third already. The year before that, 38 and two thirds. So I think they're concerned with some of these guys because he's only 29. So relatively speaking, he's still a younger guy. You don't want to blow out his elbow, knock on wood, trying to ramp him up too much.
that's fair. Okay, fine. And he's been used a lot too.
Mhm.
Okay, I get it. So yeah, but that's one of those games where I'm all, really, guys, you couldn't have even managed this. I say that on one side of my mouth. The other, I get it because it's the Orioles, and that's what they're gonna fucking do, especially against not so great pitchers. This is what's gonna happen. But that game was fucking insane and just crazy. And afterwards, I was legitimately exhausted from the adrenaline dump
High,
that I
yeah.
got. Yeah,
But
it
listen,
was
I know this was closer than it had to be, and they should have been able to blow these guys out and keep them blown out. But you talked about the Orioles. We talked about it. They're very good. But if you told me going into this game that I got to win with 3 2/3 from JakeBloss, from 2 1/3 from ShawnDubin, from 1 1/3 from Nick Hernandez, from a third from Montero, a third from Taylor Scott, and it only cost me 1 inning, 16 pitches of Bryan Abreu, and I beat the Orioles every fucking day. I'm taking that. You know what I mean? This was a win because you got to reset your leverage, guys. You didn't have a starter to begin with. You pieced this, you MacGyvered this thing with bubble gum and paper clips and toothpicks, and you
yep.
got the win. So I don't know who the fifth starter is going to be. We had a text, me and Suzy. She goes, "Where the hell are we going to get starters from, Tom?" I said, "We'll figure that shit out tomorrow. Right now, we rake," and they did, and they absolutely did. Shout out to the offense. The offense picked up the pitching staff for a change.
So, again, if we're gonna get a win, I didn't know where we were gonna get a win. Maybe that Albert Suarez game, but in my head, I didn't think it was gonna be against Grayson Rodriguez, and I was like, "Cool, we got a win. We're not gonna get fucking swept." That's what I said in my head. We're not gonna get fucking swept. So then, and it pained me to say that though because it's Ronel Blanco. That's our ace. That's the guy that has been the steady Eddie of the fucking rotation.
Hold on, real quick. I gotta know. So they win that game. Go
Mhm.
to bed. You wake up the next day. It's Ronell. You thought he was going to get shelled, didn't you? You
I
thought
didn't
they were
think he
going
was
to
gonna
come
get
back.
shelled.
They were going to come
I didn't
back
think he's gonna get
for
shelled.
vengeance and score 30 runs.
I thought it was going to be a much harder game to win. I did. I thought that they were gonna flush it and gonna say, "You know what? Fuck it. Now we go." But it's behind Corbin Burns, and I should have had more faith in Ronel Blanco. That's on me. I'm sorry, Ronel, that I doubted you. I apologize. That's again on me.
Full disclosure, after they won, I said, we're going to lose 1-0 tomorrow because they scored 14 runs. Poor Ronell's going to get the Verlander treatment, and they're going to score one stupid Crawford box home run, and they're going to win that game. And I was like, that's how tomorrow's going to go. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. And then I thought, Framber's going to come back. I said, we got the blow up game ish from Framber, all the walks, couldn't throw strikes all of a sudden. I think he's going to come out and shove. Then when I saw the hair, I was like, oh, yeah, that's a dub. As soon as I saw the hair, I knew he was going to win.
Okay. Corbin Burns on the mound. Corbin Burns is their ace. He has a 2.35 ERA, all of the things. And Ronel went out there and said, "Ace, I'm the ace now. Let's fucking go." And proceeded to fucking shove. And can I just tell you that the Orioles fan base is fucking unhinged? Absolutely fucking unhinged. The fact that because Corbin Burns had a start, like a row of quality starts where he hadn't given up more than 2 or 3 runs in the last,
It was
I
like
don't know.
7. It was like 7
Yeah.
starts. Yeah.
They were absolutely unhinged that heaven fucking forbid Corbin Burns gave up 4 runs. What are we doing? They wanted to send Corbin Burns to the goddamn moon. I'm all, If you
Send him
don't
to
want him, we'll take
Houston.
him.
Yeah.
Gladly, we will take him immediately, post haste, right now. Just bring him on over." They wanted to send him to the moon. And so again, though, the fact that that first game, we told you in that beginning, it was just stringing together hits. This game, though, this game was a little bit different. This game get you a team that can do both. How's that? Get you a team that can do both because all of the runs were scored via home run in this game. And this game was 5-0. So Jordan, side note, Yiner hit a triple.
5-1.
Yiner hit a fucking triple.
5-1. Jordan Whisper.
What did I say?
5-0.
Oh, sorry. Jordan Westberg, like I said, is our kryptonite. But all of our runs came on home runs. Yiner tripled. This stat, my gasted. all of them, is tied with triples. Yainer Diaz, our catcher, is tied in triples with AlexBregman and Jake Myers. What?
He's the
Jake
fast.
Myers, okay.
He is one of the fastest catchers in baseball. So
Yeah.
I'm not surprised if you misplay anything Yainer Diaz does. It's a double. It's a triple. He's got
Okay.
wheels.
That's not what's flabbering my gasted though. Alex Bregman has 2 triples. Penguin Waddle, Alex Bregman.
That dude right now is the straw that stirs the drink for the Houston Astros. He has had hits in, what is it, 22 of 23 games. This is the dude that everybody thought in spring training was going to show up and command stupid money. He was going to put together a season that was going to rival one of his best seasons and say, look, you need to pay me all the money. And now you can't pitch to him. Now he's got the zone locked up. He's hitting to all fields. Alex Bregman right now is on a heater that I don't know that he's had before. And the scary thing about Alex Bregman right now, you normally get cocky Bregman. You're not. And it's you see him creep out of there a little bit, then he locks it back up. Business. And this business Bregman is a different animal. It's I'm out here for this money, and he is locked the fuck in because he's after it. And now he's hitting 257 now. He might be 299 when the season's over. Oh no. I lost Suzy. I think we'll get Suzy back. She's probably got to restart a router or something like that. To speak more to this game, like we said, second inning, Jordan Westberg hits a homer. Yainer hits the triple, and then he gets knocked. Hey, that was quick. All right. I was going to go back to recap till I got you, but here you are.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what exactly happened. We were talking about Alex Bregman and how
Yes.
he's locked back in. You know what the secret is. You know
It's
why.
not, it's not just Bubby.
It is Bubby. He
That
had to
was
show
one
off
game.
Bubby.
She's only been there once. What about the other 22?
Okay, what did he do today?
He went atomic today, 4 for 4
4
with
for
a
4
walk
with a walk.
on base
He
all 5 times.
Okay, so it's Bubby has to be at all of the games. That's all I'm saying. Bubby's gotta be at all the games now.
I'm saying save Bubby for the playoffs. Roll Bubby out game 1. Let's go.
Okay, that's fine. Fine. Get Bubby to the playoffs. Anyways, yes, but Alex Bregman locked back in. But Yainer hits a triple. Jordan hits a home run. And we're like, yes. All right. Okay, we're here. We're doing it. So good. And then Chazzy Fizz, my boy, my favorite player. You're seeing it. You're seeing him get locked back in. And I think in the back of his head, he's all, fuck. I got to start doing shit or else I will be riding the bench again. And for good measure, Chaz hits his home run and then says, let's put a cherry on this shit and hits another one. I was so excited. You have no idea. The fact that I was in there in person to see the 2 home runs, chef's kiss. Chef's fucking kiss. And the fact that the second one, I was all, oh, wait, was that a home run? Is that a home run? Is Colton Cowser okay? It's a home run. Colton Cowser, are you okay? I'm so excited it's a home run. All of the feelings in my head, all of them.
So I listened to the radio broadcast today on the way in from San Antonio and got to hear them talk about Chaz. And Chaz had said that he knew something was close. He said he was getting good pitches to hit and he just was not squaring them up. And he felt a need to try to help this team try to do his part. Guys in the lineup, they don't ever want to not hit. So Chaz was very aware that he was not producing. And he was just so excited that he was able to finally do his part. It's amazing what a 3-for-3 day will do for you. His batting average went from somewhere in the low 2s to now he's 225. And with an OPS 644, it is not Chaz-like by any means, but I think it's a great start to get back to where he belongs. And we need him. I know people are like, what are we going to do with all these guys hitting? And you know what? That's a good problem to have. I'd rather have more than not enough. And for a while, we were looking around. What are we going to do? Like, we need Trey Cabbage to be great. We need Joey Loperfido to be great. And to be clear, Joey Loperfido needs to never leave Houston again. I know in this particular game, he went 0 for 3 with a strikeout, but the defensive play he made in the first game to save a couple runs probably, and just it doesn't matter where you play him. The guy's just good, very athletic. I think Joey Loperfido, if he leaves Houston for any reason, we riot. Welcome back, Suzy.
I don't know what's happening. Apparently, the internet gods do not want me talking about the Houston Astros. So, anyhow, where were we? We riot when Joey Loperfido?
Yes, but before that, I listened to the radio broadcast. Chaz said that he was close. He was getting pitches to hit. He just wasn't squaring them. And then he was very excited that he was able to help his team. And it's amazing what a 3-for-3 day will do because his average jumped up to 225, his OPS to 644. And while that's not Chaz-like, it's in the right direction.
Absolutely.
And then we talk Joey.
And we talked, okay, that's fair. Just makes me so happy that this team is doing the things that we want them to do and that we know that they can do. because it's in there, right? And we've been just waiting for the greatness to come out. And it shows again in this lineup that can do both. Hit home runs to win games and then string together hits to win games and just makes me so happy. Also, when was the last time that we have had 3 catchers that can hit? Have we ever?
Never. Never. In my however many years of fandom, if you want to call it 35, 34-ish years, I've never seen the Astros have this much talent at the catcher position at one time. We've had catchers that could hit. We've had great
Mhm.
defensive catchers, maybe 2. Right now, there is no such thing as a bad catcher right now in the Houston Astros, and that's crazy to me because Cesar Salazar has been really good. And I know he didn't start that way, but he's been so good in Sugarland. He was just able to continue that on. And Victor was like probably the pickup of the offseason for the Astros right now. If you had to name one for me, it's Victor Caratini. And we've been gushing about Yiner for a year plus where we're at there. What I loved about, I believe it was this game. This was the game that for me, it just really felt like the whole thing with the trust, right? I want to say this is the game where Dubon bunted over. Nope. That was today. It was today. I will talk about it later. Dubon makes a bunt play in the next game so that Joey Loperfido gets a bat with second and third. For me, that was just the ultimate, hey, I trust the next guy in the lineup. And when you get to that point in the season, it's a scary team because nobody's out there trying to do too much.
Yeah. This second game was happiness for me because, like I said, Ronell went out there and shoved. Absolutely fucking shoved. I need a Ronell jersey immediately.
Ooh, I like that.
Immediately, I need a Ronell jersey because this motherfucker goes out and pitches 7 innings, gives up 1 earned run, strikes out 4, walks 3. Some of those, I don't blame Ronell. Like 2 of those probably, I don't blame Ronell. And then Presley comes in, and then Hader comes in, and not gonna lie, I turned to Priscilla and said, "Okay, he's gonna give up a run. That's okay if Presley gives up a run. I'm alright with it." And the fact that he put up a 0, fucking loved it. Hader comes out. Ryan Presley and Josh Hader put up zeros in
Mhm.
both in this game, and I was very excited. Oh, yeah, he struck out Santander on a caught looking, and I thought, "Yes," made me very happy, especially because there was an Oriole guy in front of me that just wouldn't shut up, but anyways. We love that game. Again, the pitching kept the lineup down, and that was beautiful, but the fact that we hit all the home runs, also beautiful. Chaz, my guy, love it, fucking love it. So now let's talk about today's game. Fromber. Fromber versus Albert Suarez.
What do you think Framber was going to do?
Honestly, it's a coin flip, like I've said in many a video. I don't know which Fromber I'm gonna get. Is it Dr. Jekyll? Is it Mr. Hyde? I don't know. And I say that, and it was pointed out to me that he has been better than I'm giving him credit for. And I'm all, okay, all right, I can take that. But just the blowups are they're just so big that I think it overshadows all of his good performances. Because I want to say he's only really quote unquote blown up 2 times, 3 times. But the fact that we've had this roller coaster of a season already, I think it just leaves a more indelible mark in my memory, obviously. And the fact that apparently he feels more comfortable with the backup catcher, Cesar Salazar, catching him versus Yiner. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know what we're gonna do with that. Because it had been Victor Caratini catching him, and then Yiner caught him in that Angels blow up, and Yiner hasn't caught Fromber since then. It's been Victor, and now it's Cesar Salazar. Now, I will say, I was pretty impressed with Cesar. I think his receiving skills are a little bit better than Yiner's.
So I watched one Sunday Night Baseball. I can't remember which one it was because they all suck. But I watched one, and if you're not familiar with Sunday Night Baseball, one of the color commentator guys was a catcher. I can't think of his name right now because names are hard. He's the Hispanic dude. Anyway,
Eduardo
thank you.
Perez?
Eduardo Perez
Yeah.
was a catcher. And what Eduardo said about Yiner makes a lot of sense. He is such a big dude. He makes a huge target. So I guess the saying in shooting is aim small, miss small, that kind of thing. So if you have a smaller target, you have more to lock in on. When you see Yiner behind the dish, it's this wall because he's a big guy. And there's like things where you can make yourself smaller and he just gets wide. He gets wide behind the plate. And they said that's something that Salvi does. He compared it to Salvador Perez. And they had a graphic where there was like 2 of them up there. And it was, or I'm sorry, it wasn't Salvador Perez. It was Jose Trevino. He makes this small target for the pitcher. So you only see his silhouette. And that's what you're shooting at, where Yiner gets really wide and then you miss more. And at first I was like, that sounds dumb. But the more and more I think about it, the more and more somebody that has issues focusing, issues mentally would need that. And it makes sense to me in the case of Framber that I need a little target to miss at, because if I have this huge wall, I'm just going to shoot it wherever and the ball's going to go wherever and I don't like it. So Caesar's a small dude. Victor's smaller than Yiner. Maybe that has something to do with it.
So then what was the deal with Maldi?
I don't know, because and this is the thing. This is the only thing that gives you Maldi is Maldi was the talker, right? He was the whisperer. He was the I can get him centered, because no one was bigger than Maldi, but for whatever reason, everybody just trusted him. You know what I mean? I don't have anything else. It doesn't make any sense why your best offensive catcher, you would not want him in your lineup as a pitcher. I want them to score all the runs because it makes my job easier. So you're telling me that Framber's going, I don't want Yiner in the lineup? That'd be dumb.
Yeah, interesting. Okay. What do y'all think about that? Tell us in the YouTube comments below. I guess this is the lineup that's going to roll out when Fromber is pitching. He will have not Yiner behind the dish, and Yiner will be DH that day. So when Victor Caratini comes back, I don't know if we mentioned that Victor Caratini is out now for 4 weeks with a left hip flexor strain.
Hmm.
So when he slid into home and he had that like awkward slide where I'm all, oh my God, did he hurt himself? He did. He did. And so he will be out, they said, for about 4 weeks. They're hoping that maybe it'll be 3 weeks. Odds are we probably will not see him for about a month. JV, they said, has not resumed baseball activities. And I don't remember if I read it or if I heard it on one of the radio shows, but apparently they're thinking that JV's not going to be back until All-Star break.
That was one of the broadcasts that were
Was that on the
saying that
broadcast? Okay.
they were saying that if he doesn't make his next start, it would make sense to give him that added time, because now you're adding like an extra week. And I know people are like, I hate that. I'd rather try to get him right, whatever that means. We talked about the schedule. We talked about there were so many teams that were very gettable, and you were like, they just haven't been playing good baseball. A series of this totally changes the narrative because what's in there. Obviously, the confidence that they should be feeding off of from this series win should get them through the All-Star break. A lot of media was interviewing Braggs and Pena after the game today, and they were like, how does this feel? What do y'all think? We feel great. This was big. We needed to prove that we could beat a team like this. We needed to prove that we were still good. Now we can go. We're going to try to be in every game. We're going to try to win every game. Obviously, that's what you say. But I feel like there's no hotter team right now. There was no hotter team before Baltimore came to Houston than Baltimore. When you look at what they were able to do to New York in New York, obviously Philly's doing amazing things on the other side in the NL, but you play the hand you're dealt, right? You can't play them. So that's the best competition you're going to get in the American League. And they were pretty convincing in all those games.
Yep, absolutely. This game, like I said, Fromber worked really well with Cesar back there. And the first inning gave up a single and a walk and then struck out Jordan Westberg. Apparently, Fromber's curveball is deadly because he struck out Jordan Westberg 2 different times looking. And not gonna lie, I was all, thank you for holding Jordan Westberg down.
His curveball's always been good. For whatever reason, analytics say he shouldn't throw it. And I don't, because the sinker gets so many ground balls, but his curveball's always been good. And I think when he gets away from it and then lives sinker, they see it so much. Then he gets in hitters counts. Then he has to come with a heater, and major league hitters will hit a fastball. More curveballs for Fromber is not a bad thing. I don't know where they decided, because I think there was something that said he only throws it like 15 or 16% of the time. And for me, it's as good as it looks. I need him to do that more.
Interesting. I will have to look that up. But then Albert Suarez comes in for the Baltimore Orioles, and like our short king does, ambushes the first pitch, and like our short king does, hits a first pitch home run. And
No
it's just
doubter.
beautiful. That is just absolutely fucking beautiful. I think there was a stat that I retweeted. Let's see, but I think, let's see, it was on Brooksgate, and it was basically the stat that has however many runs. Here we go. Here is the player with the most hits in every count this season. Jose Altuve in a 0-0 count has 25 hits. Jose Altuve in an 0-2 count has 12 hits. 0-2 count, 0-0 count. Jose Altuve apparently is your nightmare. And I would be really interested to see who has the most home runs on each count. Maybe I'll ask them to do that next. Anyways, Jose Altuve hits a first pitch home run, and right off the bat, you're all, fuck yes. We've already got a run. Sweet. Alex Bregman locked in, doubles. Jordan Alvarez flies out. Yainer Diaz singles, and now it's 2-0. And we love it here because then Jeremy Pena doubles, and now it's 3-0. And Mauricio Dubon singles, and now it's 4-0. Joey Loperfido singles, and so we've got Joey and Mauricio Dubon on first and second with one out. Chas flies out, Cesar flies out, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little upset, but I'm like, you know what though? Cesar flied out. He made contact, and it was a good hit. I'm not gonna begrudge that because I would much rather that than a strikeout.
So to get back to that comment I made about Framber, in 2018, Framber was throwing the curveball 30% of the time.
Mhm.
In 2019, 34% of the time. In 2020, 33, 2021, 30. And it's been like decreasing little by little. Last year was his lowest number at 25.3. I don't have to tell you how bad Framber was last year, especially towards the end of the season. And now this year he's at 26.5, still well below where Framber was absolutely unhittable. What's changed? He throws the sinker more. So now the sinker gets thrown 53% of the time this season. So
Interesting.
for me, those numbers need to change a little bit. Obviously, the sinker wasn't used as much by Framber early in his career. 2020 got up to 55%, and it's done this little baseball savant. If you're looking for a website for that sort of information, is a good place to go find it. But it breaks it down, and Framber needs to get back to that curveball because when he's throwing it, I think at least a little bit more. Not crazy. I don't think he's got to get back up to the 30%, but somewhere in between there, you get a different guy.
Interesting. That's very interesting to note. I wonder if they're thinking that because he had thrown it so much that players just recognize it a little bit more, and
Didn't stop him
they're
from throwing the
thinking
sinker though.
that's true.
I just feel like when he's a little bit more balanced with that, you get a more effective sinker because they don't see it all the time. You get a more effective curveball because you get a better feel for it. When you get away from it and you don't throw it as much, then all of a sudden, now I can't locate with it.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. So let's see. The
One more number. He gets
okay,
a whiff percentage of 42% on the curveball this year.
that's a nice little number there. Throw
Mhm.
your curveball more, Fromber. What are we doing? So in the bottom of the fourth, Cesar Salazar singles, Jose Altuve lines out, Alex Bregman doubles, and then they intentionally walk Jordan Alvarez to load the bases. And at this point, the girls had come back into the room and they had asked why they were intentionally loading the bases because they had said Yainer Diaz is just going to come up and hit a grand slam. That doesn't make any sense. And I told Mike, I go, "Hey, Mike, explain what a force out is to him because he can explain the terms a little bit better, right? And I don't want to say dumbed down terms, but he can explain it a little bit more concisely than I can. And so they go, so they basically just want to be more lazy. And I was all, it's so that they don't have to, they can just touch the bag versus touching the player, guys. Like it's a little bit, it's, yes, sure. It's a little bit easier. And they're all, oh, okay. But then again, how many times have we asked Yiner not to swing away, not try to hit that grand slam? And we got a sack fly, and I'll take it. I will fucking take it as opposed to striking out and leaving the bases loaded or hitting into a double play because unfortunately there was some grounding into double plays like when there's only been the one out. I'll take the sack fly. I will take it. Now it's 5-0 in the bottom of the fourth. Bottom of the fifth, I think, is when Jordan Westberg hit his lone home run again. Let me see. JK, I say bottom of the fifth. That's when we bat. Top of the fifth? Nope. 2 singles. Bottom of the fifth, Joey Loperfido walks and then steals a base, and then Chaz strikes out swinging, and Cesar lines out. Top of the sixth is when Jordan Westberg hits his solo home run, and now it is 5-1. Bottom of the sixth, Jose Altuve lines out. Dylan Tate replaces Albert Suarez, so we knock Albert Suarez out. Alex Bregman singles. Jordan is called out on strikes, and it was a high strike. It was a little high strike. Yiner singled. Jeremy Pena doubles, and now it's 7-1, and we fucking love it. We love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. Where let's see. Is this is the game where Joey swung away and Chaz struck out, right? Is that what we were talking about earlier?
Yes. It was Dubon. They had first and second. Dubon,
As
who's
bottom of the third.
been the hottest hitter, one of the hottest hitters on the team, lays down a bunt to move guys over to give Joey Loperfido the chance to bat with second and third and one out to try to drive in runs. Now it didn't work out, but the fact that he was willing, or the fact that they were willing to do that in a game that was very much still in question. Obviously, they put a big number up early, but we just saw Friday how quick the Baltimore offense can strike. It was like, no, this was the right move to make if you're still trying to score runs, not just going out there big inning. I thought it was great. I thought for him to do that for Joey Loperfido, who's been in the big league, what, 30 days total, maybe something. I don't know. It shows a lot of faith in your young guy.
3 for 13. We left 9 on base. 3 for 13. Okay, so I wasn't watching that inning. So we have runners on first and second. Mauricio Dubon sack bunts and moves him over. Now we have one out. And then in my head, though, I was thinking that maybe Joey Loperfido would have not swung away and would have sack bunted again since we had a runner on third to at least get one run in. And I asked Mike if I was like, "Is that dumb? Is that not a thing that people could do? I don't understand the whole what was the mindset here?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "Maybe Joey Loperfido can't bunt." I'm all right. But then the fact that Chaz struck out bunting, and I didn't see it. So what was that bunt? Did you see it?
Yeah, it was like a pop fly. I don't think anybody gave him the signal. I think a la Jose Altuve, he saw them playing back and thought he could steal a run, thought he could beat out a bunt down the line and score a run. I think he was trying to be selfless. And my hat's off to Chaz. When it's genius, chef's kiss. When it doesn't, what the fuck was he doing? I get that. But to me, what the overarching theme was just like selflessness within the lineup. You know what I mean? Chaz was trying to score that run. He was like, let me just get one. Obviously, the inning was set up for Joey to make or break. Joey could have bunted. A base hit scores two. So I feel like that was the logic. You give Joey Loperfido a chance to get a base hit to score two. You give Chaz the chance to get a base hit to score two. As opposed to if Dubon goes up there and he flies out on the infield, base hit scores one. Like he gave himself up to ensure they had a chance to get two runs.
So now it is 7-1, and we have 2 brand new pitchers on our team, guys. And Joe Espada said, "We're going to get them both in this game." And I was like, okay. So Brian King, welcome to the show. Brian King comes in and on one pitch gets Tony Taters, Anthony Santander to line out, then gets Gunnar Henderson looking. And I don't know if you guys know this. Gunnar Henderson is a very, 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 very good baseball player. That was 43 varies, I know. And got him to strike out looking on 4 pitches. 4 pitches, guys. There was one pitch that the third pitch that was fouled away, but he did not swing at a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, a 79-mile-an-hour slider, fouled away the 92-mile-an-hour fastball, and then got caught looking on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Gunnar Henderson is not a guy that gets caught looking very often. So I don't know if it's because he hadn't seen him or what, but hats off, Brian King, because it is a very hard thing to do. First big league strikeout is Gunnar Henderson. Shout out. And then gets Jordan Westberg on 2 pitches. So his MLB debut is 2, 6, 7, a 7-pitch inning. Love that. Didn't walk anybody, didn't give up a run. Chef's kiss. Absolutely. I am looking forward to watching Brian King and seeing what he can do. Again, it is low leverage situations, so I don't know how he is going to do in high leverage innings. Hopefully we don't ever see that. Hopefully our leverage guys, our proven leverage guys gets those, whatever. And then in the bottom of the 8th, Altuve singles, Bregman singles, Jordan flies out, and again, Yanner Diaz with another sac fly, and I fucking love it. I fucking love it. And now it's 8-1. So in the top of the 9th, though, this was interesting that Joe Espada made this move because we don't get to see defensive changes much because why would we ever want to do that? Pinch hit capability? Why would we want to do that? That's not a thing the Astros do, right? So the fact that Joe Espada changed the outfield to sit Jordan and bring Jake in as center field and then Joey and Chaz in right and left, I was all, oh, we got the defensive outfield. Like, all right, I'll take it. And I loved it. I loved it. Not gonna lie, because how many years have I been asking for this? Lots. All the years that Dusty was here, all of them. This is kind of what I
So
wanted.
in Joe Espada's defense, though, he
Oh,
did
no, no,
that.
no. I'm saying I liked it. I'm saying I liked
No,
it.
no, but you said we haven't seen it. In his defense, he hadn't had the lead to be able to do it. He did it Friday, and it almost cost him because he pulled Jordan in the 7th.
Oh, yeah.
And then he did it again today. He wants to get Jordan off the field and get that defensive unit in there with the lead. You can't sacrifice Jordan if you're down. So I think going forward, you'll see more of this with, especially with Jordan, if they are able to salt away games 7-1, 8-1, 14-3, something like that, where if the game's in question and I've got Yiner DHing because Framber doesn't want him to catch him, I can't afford to lose both those guys. So
Right.
he's constricted because of the DH spot, because right now it needs to be Yiner, it needs to be Jordan. If it doesn't need to be Yiner, then you can DH him and play your best defensive lineup.
That's true. So then let's see. Top of the ninth, Luis Contreras comes in. Again, welcome to the show, Luis Contreras. Low leverage, but it's still the Baltimore Orioles, and you saw what they did to Nick Hernandez and Rafael Montero. I don't know if they did or not, but I'm sure they're aware. And he just proceeds to come in, and Austin Hayes doubles off of him, but then gets Jorge Mateo on 2 pitches to ground out Ramon Urias to pop out in 4 pitches, and then Colton Cowser to pop out in 5 pitches. And now we have swept the motherfucking Baltimore Orioles. Only the second time since Adley Rutschman has been called up have the Baltimore Orioles been swept. We are the second team to do it this season. The St. Louis Cardinals, of all teams, were the first team to do that. This because, of course, the St. Louis Cardinals and us now. But when I tell you that the Orioles fan base is just unhinged, they send everybody to the moon. Send everybody to the moon. They do have an actual legit case in Cedric Mullins's case. He's not hitting great. He is a defensive wizard, steals all the bags, but they want Colton Cowser sent down. They don't want Colton Cowser up. They want Ramon Urias out. They want Cedric Mullins to sit. They want to bring up now they are bringing up Heston Kjerstad. I read that after the game. I don't know who he's replacing, but they're bringing Heston Kjerstad up. But they want Kobe Mayo up. They want Heston Kjerstad up. They wanted somebody else up too, and I can't remember who. But they're like all of the young guys. Bring up all of the young guys. We need all of the young guys because I'm all. Don't talk to me about losing teams. You get no Orioles fans. Just stop it right the fuck now. Absolutely not. But they're not happy over there after they just dick slapped the shit out of the Yankees and then come in here and at no point in time did I think anybody from the Orioles side think that A, that we were gonna win, but that B, we were gonna sweep. Because it's very improbable. Because why, Tom? Because sweeps are hard? Sweeps are hard, apparently.
Because sweeps are
So,
hard. I was muted. Sorry.
yeah.
Ironically, are the Baltimore Orioles not the Astros in the making? This is the textbook Astros of 2 years ago. Go into Atlanta, go into New York, go into Tampa, whatever the Dodgers, whatever big team you want to name. Hand them their ass. Then the next series, go get swept by Oakland. And people are like, Oakland are our daddies. Screw it. Fire everyone to the moon. How we lose to the Oakland Athletics.
You know why the Orioles are the Astros of a couple years ago. Our literal front office, our old front office is built the Baltimore Orioles. Sig Mejdal is over there. Mike Elias is over there. I want to say their assistant GM is from the Astros front office as well, and I can't remember her
He
name,
was somebody,
and it's bugging
or
me.
she was in scouting, right? Something in scouting.
I can't remember, but she's from the Astros organization. So, yes, when you see the comparisons between the Baltimore Orioles and Astros of yesteryear, it is legitimately because that's why. Half of our front office, our old front office, is in the Orioles system now. So just I don't know what to tell you, AL East, Yankee fans, Rays fans, the Baltimore Orioles are going to be very good for quite some time. If you're basing it off of the Astros trajectory, that is a very hard word to say, and I don't even have any alcohol in me. You're in for a treat if you're an Orioles fan. So, we shall see what happens with the Orioles, but I can't believe we fucking swept. We have an off day tomorrow, and then we have 2 games with the Rockies. I don't understand why we only have 2 games with the Rockies,
Because we played 2 with them in Mexico and we only get 4 games with them throughout the season.
but why? Everybody else has had 3-game series is with them.
Because they're an NL, we're an AL. And I think the way they mixed that up, they weren't going to do 4 games in Mexico. So they only did the 2 there. It probably would have been a 4-game set in Houston if it wasn't in Mexico, or a 4-game set in Colorado.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Alright. Let's see. So the probables for those games are Hunter Brown on Tuesday and then Spencer Arrighetti on Wednesday. And they will match up with Austin Gomber, left-handed pitcher, a 1-4 record with a 4.36 ERA, and then Ryan Feltner with a 1-6 record with a 6.02 ERA. But don't get cocky, Astros fans, because anything can fucking happen, right? We all know.
Colorado's been playing teams. They gave the Dodgers hell. So do not sleep on this Rocky team. Do not look back at the Mexico series and go, they should go in there and dog walk them, because the minute you do that, you'll get a phenomenal start from somebody you've never heard of, because that can happen, and you'll lose a game. And if they lose a game to the Rockies after what they did to get through Baltimore, I think they've earned it. I hope they go get both of them. They are talking like they want both of them. I understand that sweeps are hard.
The Rockies just got done playing the Nats, and in 2 games ago, it was 8-7. Again, don't sleep on these guys. Ezekiel Tovar, Ryan McMahon, Bretton Doyle is you wanna talk about a defensive center fielder wizard, that motherfucker is going to rob all of the anything that is close to him. So, just be prepared to see Jake Myers-esque robberies from Bretton Doyle in our ballpark. And the fact that he doesn't have to cover 4,000 feet, it probably will be even more amazing catches. I'm hoping not. Like, I hope I eat my words, and I hope he just makes all the errors. But just know, Brendan Doyle is a
I
defensive wizard out there.
I just hope they don't hit him to him. That's the easy answer, right? The Crawford box
You
is the
know,
nice this time of year. You can hit him there.
that would be great. Let's see.
King tucks court
Brendan
while he's out. That's the other thing that I think everybody is not paying attention. They did this without Kyle Tucker. If you do anything like this without your probably one of your best players on your team, it should be magnified that much more. Put Kyle Tucker in there, and I can only imagine.
And update on him, apparently he is still walking with a limp, and he still has not done any sort of baseball activities. I don't know when we're gonna get Kyle Tucker back because they still haven't said shit. So I assume since there's an off day before and after the Rocky series, that they're hoping that maybe during the Mets series he'll go on a rehab start, or maybe I don't even know. I don't even know. But at this point in time, if Tucker comes back in, who's sitting down? Is it Joey? Is it Chaz?
It's probably Joey, but it should probably be Chaz.
Or maybe it'll be a platoon. Maybe it will be Joey for Joey for right-handed pitchers and Chaz for left-handed pitchers, unless they
Makes
have
sense.
reverse splits. But the fact that in Jake Bloss's game, Joey Loperfido made an amazing fucking catch in front of the Crawford boxes, and then the next inning, I think Jake came in and made an amazing diving catch. We're talking I think they said on the broadcast Joey's catch was a 4-star catch, and then Jake's, I think they said it was like a 2 or 3-star catch. But regardless, just some defensive wizardry out there. Not saying that Chaz wouldn't have made that catch that Joey did. Jordan definitely is not making that catch, but it was magnificent. This Joey Loperfido slide catch into the wall thing, and it took my breath away. And just pop right back up. Natural outfielder. Love it.
So is
Mauricio
Dubon?
Dubon playing first base.
I was just gonna ask, is he our everyday first baseman?
I don't know if he's our everyday first baseman. I think him and Singleton are gonna platoon.
Selfishly, and this is not a knock on Big John. I want everybody to understand that Big John's good. But if you want to give me a left-handed hitting first baseman, I'd rather be Joey Loperfido. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If Joey's platooning with Chaz in left and Dubon at first, then you get all Joey all the time. And me personally, with the way he hits and runs, he stole a base today. He was gonna that wasn't even a question. And I think you could run him all the time. And just this is a team that doesn't steal bases. And now you add that. Give me all the stolen bases.
Yes. Yeah, I see your point. However, I don't remember was it foul territory that I was listening to Josh Rojas? If it was not foul territory, I apologize to whatever podcast I was listening to. I'm almost positive it was foul territory in Josh Rojas. But they were talking about how Josh plays all of the different positions. And he was saying something about the footwork and his arm slot. and how playing outfield versus infield is different. And when he did that, he had to make sure that his arm slot didn't change because he had a bunch of errors, I think, when he tried to change the arm slot, and he said something about how it hurt his arm. Like, it didn't hurt his arm, but he's all, "Ooh, that's uncomfortable. I don't like doing that. Let's not do that anymore." And I don't know if throwing a rookie in 2 different positions, one that he's not familiar with at all, is maybe the best idea because, again, of this interview, like I said, of that I was listening to, that it just changes all the things for you. Like, it changes your feet positioning, it changes your arm slot, it changes, like, all of that, and now we're as, like, a rookie, we're asking you to play outfield and first base, neither one that you're gonna do every day. Neither obviously, you have a handle on outfield, but first base, you don't. I don't know.
So in all 5 levels of college, amateur, baseball, Joey
Mhm.
Loperfido has played 134 games at first base.
In how many games total?
134 games at first base. Total games? This is not a math pod, Susie. Why would you ask a
I
question
know,
like that?
but what I'm trying to get at is I feel like it's a minuscule amount versus the natural position of outfielder. How many games has he played outfield?
134 games out of 507. So is it his natural position? No. Can he play it? You can't tell me he's worse than Dubon. You just can't. Do I need to go look up how many times Mauricio Dubon has played first base? I
No?
can.
Sure, all the
Okay.
content.
Okay.
Give
Okay.
us all
Okay.
the content, Tom, all of the content. We I get it, I understand, but I don't know, I'm not super comfortable with it, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at.
All right. So major league wise, Dubon has played first base 7 games. I'm sorry, 7 games. Let me go look at the
Oh
minors.
my
Let me be fair. Let me go find his
god.
minor league stats. Can I find his minor league stats?
Probably not, because I don't think he played that much first base in the minor leagues. Side note, did you know that Max Scherzer made his
He
MLB
did
debut?
his 2024 debut.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
this season. Went 5
Um,
innings-ish,
that's good.
whatever, it's the Rangers, but
All right,
the fact that he
I
even did that.
found his minor league stats.
Okay,
I
tell me his
found
minor league stats.
he has played first base in all the 211 times.
Fine.
I'm just saying, for people that say that Joey Loperfido cannot play first base, I present this to you. Now, has he done it in Houston? No. Has he done it in the majors? No. Has he done it a ton in Sugarland? A little bit. But this
Okay,
notion,
well, maybe you'll see Joey Loperfido at first against the Rockies and Mauricio out in the outfield.
I can't get away from his 348 batting average. I just can't. And his 147 OPS plus. And the defense. The dude's an athlete.
What's his BABIP like, though?
Babib. Let's find it.
And that's balls in play. Base, why am I drawing a blank on what BABIP is? What does that actually stand for?
Batted balls in play.
Thank you. Basically, it is the how lucky are you stat. That's what that means. Just for the record. Joey Loperfido's BABIP, you're not even gonna fucking believe it.
Tell me.
You're
Let's
not
hear it.
even gonna fucking believe it,
It's
Tom.
going to be better. I'm going to like it more, aren't I? Give it to me.
His BABIP is a 577.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That
So
sounds good.
essentially no, essentially he's got a fucking horseshoe shoved up his ass. That's what that means.
I don't know.
He's like the luckiest son of a bitch ever.
Think so?
I'm not saying it. The BABIP is saying it. I personally, would like to say that it's not, but I'm trying to think of his infield hits and shit, or
Mm-hmm.
have they been hard hit? I don't know, guys. Just a thing to maybe keep in the back of your mind. Are Joey Loperfido's balls in play? Where are they going? Are they hard hit balls? Are they little infield bloops? How's he getting on base? Just something to monitor. Because a 577 BABIP is fucking ridiculous.
His xWOB is 307.
And that's expected weighted on base average.
Mm-hmm.
In case you guys don't know what that is. So on base average, you know what on base average is. Weighted
Mm-hmm.
takes into account ballpark.
Ballparks and stuff like that.
And then expected is the computer algorithm, all of the nerdy shit saying what that player should actually do. And then you compare that to his actual versus stats. And you hope that they match up. Let's just say that. So I don't know. His WRC plus is 149. That's
Mm-hmm.
delightful. We love that. We do. We love that.
OPS
But
865. Like his ISO, I think the ISO is like I think that's anything over 100 is really good there too.
and that stands for isolated power, and that's basically like the slug average.
Yeah.
It's yes, Joey Loperfido is a guy. He is not just a guy. He's a guy. He's a very good player, but I don't know if he is this good of a player. Is I guess what I'm saying right now. Striking out 38% of the time? Jesus Christ.
But that's been the only knock on him. You know what I mean? Do we want to go look up? Let's do this. We'll compare him to Big John.
You're going to make me sad, aren't you?
Am I?
You probably.
I don't know. I just want to be fair. I just want to be fair. Because I feel like, look, I'm never going to knock the story. I'm never going to take anything away from what John's been able to do. I just think he's the guy. And at 32, I think he is. Like for me, I need you to be more than a guy. No? Not right?
I don't know. I don't know because I love Big John, but
Do you know what his BABIP is? 288.
Nope.
So it's better. He's not as lucky. His K rate is 48 though.
yikes. Is he a 3 true outcome out guy? 3 true outcome guy. There we go. Interesting. All right. Okay. Again, guys, something to keep in mind when watching Joey Loperfido play. Just something to keep in mind. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not, by all means, am I not saying that. I just don't know if the stats are telling the entire story. With that, like I said, we're heading into the off day tomorrow. The Colorado Rockies on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then another off day. And we fly to New York. I say we, like I am going to be stowaway
Let's
passenger. I am
go.
not. Nope. They will be going to MetLife. No, Citi Field. Citi Field. That's what it is, right? Citi Field. And I don't know if you guys heard, but Edwin Diaz was just tossed from the Cubs Mets game tonight for sticky substance on his hand, and odds are will be suspended for 10 games. I don't know if he will appeal that. I don't think he will, because if you see a picture of his hand, it's literally black and not the shade that he is. And so I think the Mets will be playing without Edwin Diaz next weekend,
Which is
when we
huge.
go and see them. Yeah. So that will be another feather in our cap to help us out. And hopefully we play like this, like we did with the Orioles when we face the Mets, because hopefully it's going to get a little bit easier. Now, when we say baseball is baseballing, this is what we mean, because the Mariners lost the series to the Miami fucking Marlins. Hats off, Marlins. We fucking love you. With that series loss, we are now 6 games back. We are 38-40. We're so close to 500. I sincerely hope we can get to that 500 mark with Colorado. I'm hoping. I'm not guaranteeing anything, guys, because it's baseball, but I'm hoping. And then we go and see the Mets. I don't remember. I think it's the Royals. Is that who the Mariners see? We're trying to chase down the Mariners, guys. That's what we're trying to chase down. That's what I would like. No, I digress. They take on the Tampa Bay Rays. So hopefully the Rays can do the things and win the series against them, because they do play in the Trop. So that'll be interesting.
Wu versus Bradley.
And that will be interesting. So Brian Wu, I can't remember what he did in his last start, but Taj Bradley has been all over the place, but he's got some wicked stuff too. So if he can get it in the zone, we'll be all right. Let's see. We are now four games back of a wild card. Kansas City is half a game back from the wild card, with Baltimore, the Twins, and Boston being actually in that wild card. We are, however, tied with Tampa for that wild card. So it's even doubly extra for the Tampa Bay Rays to do the things and win that series against the Mariners. Damn, it's late, guys, and my brain is done, and words are hard. So
What do the Astros have to do to get to that 10-4 for June? That's what we said, right? 10-4. So they got 2. Yep. No, that's what I said. I said if they go 10-4 through June, they'll be just fine. So far, they are 5-1 since that started. So I need 5 wins between
So we need to sweep the Rockies and the Mets is what you're saying.
I feel like I'm missing something there. Oh no, they won 2 with the Tigers, then they won 2 with the White Sox. So that's 4. Then they won 3 with the Orioles. So that's 7. So they need to win 3 of the next 5 games to get to 10-4.
Okay.
And they'll be at 500 July 1st.
Okay. So what you're saying is we need to sweep the Rockies, and if we lose the series against the Mets, we'll be okay.
That would be delightful. Obviously, they want to do better than 10-4. I'm not going to begrudge them.
Obviously,
That was just my mark.
we would
If
like
sweep
series wins, guys.
if they sweep the Rockies, and then they're on what? That would be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game win streak. That Mets series is going to be a different animal because they will turn into one of the hottest teams in baseball. And oh no, here comes the Astros. National media will jump on board and they'll be like, "What changed?" And Joe Espada's got them on the right track, and the narrative will be totally different. I've seen
The
some.
Astros are inevitable. Golly, words are hard.
I've seen
Astros
some
are
fans
inevitable
from
memes
Yankee
will come
Twitter
out.
that are like, "Oh no, here they come," and I love that. You know what I mean? We may not get there, but I love that there is a legit fear that if that team with the orange star comes through, we might be fucked because they're the boogeyman. Nothing is better than being the boogeyman.
Absolutely. It's true. It is true, people. So, with that said, we will be here. I don't remember when the next time we are on PSF is. I will pull up my calendar.
In an early week, Monday, Tuesday, something like that.
I don't remember. But with that said, Tom, tell the peoples where they can find you on their interwebs while I look this up.
On Twitter at Third Coast Tom. It's where I do the most of my socializing. It's where all the news is at. It's where I'm at 80% of the time. The other 20%, I'm on Instagram at TCTom1. Not nearly as fun there, but still active there. The PSF app, which Suzy is mentioning, is our little passion project that I guess we're working on to try to build up this awesome fan interaction where everybody comes together, watches the game together from the comfort of your own home. It has been awesome so far. We've got some great people in the chat, totally fun to interact with, very baseball smart to be able to bounce stuff off of, talk games through. If you are not in the ballpark, it's the best place to watch a game, whether it's on the camera, on the audio, just chat only. You have the options. If you're not an Astros fan, I understand. I don't agree, but I understand. They have a chat room for you. Go check them out. There's a new peer-to-peer wagering system on there called Duels that is backed by a company called
Lupa.
and it is a whole lot of fun. You're basically pick a stat, pick 2 players. I think this guy's going to do better than that guy. You put a little scratch on it, and it's a fun way to watch a baseball game or a hockey game or a basketball game or whatever other sport that you feel like throwing a little jack on. You have it there. But come check us out on the PSF app. It is too much fun not to if you're not going to the game.
So you can do that on Tuesday night. We will be on for the Rockies, Rockies game number 1. We'll probably start that broadcast about 7. I will just watch our social medias. I will tweet out the link for that actual Astros room the day of, but just be on the lookout. In the show notes, I will put the link to download the app via Google Play Store and Apple. And with that said, if you guys haven't subscribed to the podcast, what the fuck are you doing? Hit the red button,
Do it.
subscribe, tell all your friends. It doesn't cost you anything, okay? It's a push of the button. I think you should do it. If you haven't subscribed the podcast, the audio version on Apple or Spotify, I also don't know what you're doing. If you want to stare at our beautiful faces, by all means, I'm not going to stop you. But go over to Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts and leave a 5-star rating. That will help us immensely. Say all the nice words because as black as my soul is, it's always nice to get a compliment in words. We love that. And with that, we are going to end the show and say, yay, baseball, and record.